How's that looking? I won't have the sound, fuck it. Good angle, that'll do. What time is it? Can't see it. $10.38. I never busted it anyway. Someone's yelling out in the distance that I busted someone. I don't know why. Perhaps they're insane. Perhaps they're on drugs. That's highly likely. It's probably a combination of rat poison, caramel cider, and I'd say mixed with a bit of LSD, some methamphetamine, some mandrake root, bit of cocaine, some, bit of the good old horse, the horse, the goey, the go, bit of heroin, bit of China White, bit of CW. They're into that sort of thing up in Donald, lots of it, there's marijuana everywhere, illegal marijuana. But that's Donald for you. Home of the serial rapist, pedophile and torturing cannibal maggots. You know, I used to live there, but Jimmy Jerkweed threw me out. You know, he poisoned me, and then a couple of fucking losers came to help him out. But, you know, that sort of shit happens. And as per usual, they're barreling past, they're screaming abuse. You know, the sheep are in the field. You know, the sheep are in the distance. There's a bit of a shimmering haze on the horizon. You know, the trees are basking in the sun. Hasn't been much rain in this area for a while, but that's that's to be expected. You know, that's what happens when you cut down all the trees, you fucking logging morons. You know, it'd be a good day for humanity and the earth if you shot yourselves in the fucking face with a loaded double-barrel shotgun. You know, if I could, and if it was legal, I would certainly dish out a smorgasbord of lead sandwiches for you fucking slags. You cut down all the trees and say you got to fucking make money. I've got to survive. But you won't fucking transition to a new economy. You don't want to do it, and your fucking boyfriends in the fucking pharmaceutical industry pay you a shitload of money to keep cutting down the fucking trees, you dirty little slags. And you run around Victoria telling everyone that I'm a fucking serial pedophile. Well, fuck you, assholes. Right up yours. If I could dish out a few lead sandwiches to you fucking morons, I would if it was fucking legal. I'm not a fucking serial pedophile. I'm not a fucking pedophile. My older brother Mark and his dopey brother-in-law Adrian and their horrible fucking Mary Lou and the rest of those cretins drugged, kidnapped and set me up one fucking night down at the Bridge Mall Inn with Flocky. Little Flocky, oh, would you like a drink, mate? I'll just go and get you a drink. Comes back, it's fucking full of rohypnol. They take me out and take me downstairs to the bar, dump me in Mark's fucking white van, take me out to my home, to my farm, and fucking gang rape me, shoot me up with fucking dozens of syringes, and then fucking set me up to look like a pedophile. They put me on a fucking bed with an erect cock, dressed in a copper's uniform, with a baby between me ankles, and a St. Jared medal around the neck of the baby, because they thought it was funny because Jared is my third name. Oh, they're all standing around, oh, ha, 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 that's so funny. Oh, we're so great, we're so glorious, aren't we heroes? Look at me. Oh, aren't I a fucking hero? Then they get dopey little Adrian's daughter to give me a head job, and they're taking photos and videos. Then old Johnny boy, me cousin, comes in with a fucking booster shot of China White. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, this is it. This is the fucking end. My day has come. I'm going in the fucking ground. Dopey little Fiona's going, I can't give him any more in that vein, else that vein will collapse. Little Johnny boy stand there, you do it. Like a big hero, big heroin dealer. They shoot me up with this booster shot, and just before I did it, I thought, well, since I'm going to my grave, I may as well put the wind up, you fucking slags. So, yeah, I'm drug-fucked, totally drug-fucked. Managed to look up, and I said to Johnny boy, I said, they're going to get you, you know. And I put my head back down, and he's standing there. You know, he's looking down like this. Who? Who said that? And I said to him, the two guys that hired me. And he's going, oh, what two guys? I thought, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to make you think. I'm going to get into your head, and I'm going to make you worry for the rest of your fucking miserable life, you slag. And then they had the audacity to say to me, are you Jesus Christ? And I thought, what sort of a fucking question is that? Yeah, what sort of a fucking brain dead moron are you? Where'd you get your brains from? From the fucking butchers this morning, you cretin. Are they lamb's brains? Did you fry them up? Tear open your scalp? Cross-cut your bones open and then dump it in and you think you're a genius? So I said, yes, and the 12 apostles. He's going, oh, he's mad. So they shoot me up with this booster syringe of China White, which is heroin, purest heroin on the planet. There's this big explosion of white, and I said, oh, that was fucking great. Can we do that again? Then they go, oh, he's mad. Then they dump me back in the van. I'm raped again by fucking little Mr. David. They take me back into the fucking pub, dump me in the bed, and little Howie's going, oh, let's have a bit of fun with him. And Blondie goes, no, the boss says that he's not to be touched. So they dump me on the bed, leave me there. I wake up at 9:30 in the morning, little Flockie's down in the coffee room. I said, yeah, g'day, mate, how you going? What happened last night? And he goes, oh, you had a fair bit to drink. Yeah, you had a good night. And that's how he talks, that's how they all talk. Yeah, let's go down to the pub, let's play a couple of beers, and we'll get some Nana, and then we'll roast and dine till we have a couple of dongs, and then we'll go out, we'll drag and kidnap a young teenage girl, then we'll brutally murder her and torture her to death afterwards with our little gun roast. Okay, that'll be a good night all around. With the other 35 of the boys, or we might make it a 74, member occasion for the group or the syndicate, okay? Now that's how they talk. Oh, I'd better cut. I'll watch that in a while. So I'm standing here somewhere in Victoria, Australia, Earth, of course. It's not Mars, but though some of them are from Mars. They're spiders from Mars, rock spiders from Mars, by the way. Dirty little rock spiders. But for the last 45 years, I've been hunting down Johnny Boy and all of their little group, you know, the so-called Children of Baal, the Doomsday cult, that wants to destroy all life on Earth and destroy the Earth and blah, 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 you know, that sort of maniacal behaviour, which they've been doing for thousands of years. They've been chasing me around Victoria, raping me, drugging me, abusing me, robbing me, spreading lies about me. Interesting fact, I was reading on the internet, Bill up in Canberra has got 28 names of senior politicians and a few coppers from New South Wales that were going to the child brothel, the boy brothel called Costello's in Sydney. That was shut down, of course, thank goodness. But he's not willing to release the names, which is a bit strange because I'd be all too eager to release those names. Make sure the dirty ass pounders paid for their mongrel actions. Can't have that happening to children, that's just not on. There's all these dopey slags driving past with smirks on their faces, you know, because they've gang raped a few dozen children, brutally tortured and murdered them, then cooked them up into a recipe called stoop, which is a cross between stew and stoop. It's prepared with a few vegetables, herbs and spices, you know, a good lashing of methylamphetamine or ice, just to make it a bit tastier, and cooked up in a 44-gallon drum, and that feeds a whole mob of heinous, brutally violent savages. But that's pretty much par for the course in Donald and around Victoria. There's a dopey brain-dead cretin. I've heard some numbers, though I don't know if they're true. 75,000 missing children across Victoria, sad to say, and my condolences are with you, but they won't be coming home. You know, 35 child brothels across Melbourne, 73 across the state. I don't know, they're just numbers that have been quoted to me. Well, not quoted, I've just overheard the comments. Nothing seems to have been done about the situation. I don't know why. You know, there's talk about vested interests from the pharmaceutical companies, the logging companies, people who, you know, brain-dead morons who want to make GMO foods. They've been killing all the animals, you know, because they hate insects, they hate lizards, they hate snakes, they hate kangaroos. They probably eat them all. That's probably it. Then there's paraquat, the deadly herbicide, fungicide poison, causes Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia. Yeah, that's everywhere. They use it on potatoes, cereal crops, legumes, vineyards, all that sort of thing. Along with that poisonous filth that they spray everywhere called Roundy or whatever it is, you know, by Monty and the boys. Yeah, they make billions of dollars, so they don't care. Probably sit back laughing. We are destroying you now, Earth, children of Baal. We will reign supreme. We will turn this planet and take off the glasses for that one. We will turn this planet into a desert world, and all life will cease to exist in the great name of Baal. you know, sort of Satan worship and all that sort of bullshit. Pathetic losers, really. But I'm a man of God, by the way. A warrior for the big H, the big holy, the man upstairs, the big G, you know. And you can talk to him any way you want. Yeah, just be honest. He doesn't mind, he doesn't care. In fact, he appreciates a bit of good old-fashioned honesty. They don't like me, you know, being a warrior for God. They hate that because they worship, you know, Satan and all that sort of pathetic bullshit. But they're losers. Is that what you say? I've got voices in the distance. You know, they're about 15,000 miles away, howling through loudspeakers, screaming at me. Pretty much every day, 24 hours a day. You know, they try and run me out of petrol, money, food, steal stuff from a car, you know, pathetic stuff like that. Hack into my iPads, all that sort of stuff. You know, they spread lies, they mention names, they say the Premier's involved, the Prime Minister's involved, this person's involved. I wouldn't know fuck all about it. I don't have the proof. Though I did give 3,147 items of